fucking loving this guitar right now, man. It's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Bought it in Ontario about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. About 2 years ago. It's a Nick Johnston, made by Schecter. This is an Indonesian model, and it costs about $11.50 Canadian. And it's really surprising that I bought it because it's got a super flat fretboard and because it's heavy. I mean, it's not ridiculously heavy, but it's heavier than what I would normally go for. It's got other weird features that, not weird, but it has locking tuners, which is not something that I really ever feel is necessary. But that's partly because I don't use the Whammy Bar that much. I think if I was using Whammy all the time, I can understand how that might help a little bit. But anyway, killer guitar. I bought it mostly because I found it very playable, because it has giant frets on it, and also because the pickups sound great. Very, very, it's got that, like, you know... No. I always call it the round tubular thing. Just it does the Strat thing really well. The bridge pickup is a little hotter too, so it's got some grit and some bite. And the middle pickup as well has got the quack that I really prefer. Ebony fretboard, roasted maple neck. It's pretty darn skinny. It's another thing which is totally not really my thing at all. Flat radius, skinny neck, totally not my thing. But then I played this one and I was not a changed man, but I was definitely, you know what? Everything's working. It's functioning really well. Sounds great, plays really well, and I think those are probably the two most important things, right? I think it's a real looker too. That's called Atomic Frost, apparently. I'm not sure what that fender color would be if we translated that. It's somewhere between Seafoam and Sonic Blue, kind of. And other awesome things, it's only got a volume and a tone control, like a Telecaster, and like a Telecaster, it's got the bottom jack, which I think is awesome. There's other ones, sometimes Ibanez puts them there on a different angle. I love saying Ibanez. Needs that accent, whatever that is, aigu, or no, it's the one that's in Spanish that goes over the N sometimes. Yeah. Ibanez. And of course, accessible wheel for the truss rod adjustment. Everything else is really, really just kind of typical what you expect. I guess that's maybe a graphite nut there. Sort of a composite nut because it's dark, black. You know?
Is it Graphtec?
Yeah, probably. Also, if you look very closely, there is fret markers, but they're just these little circles. You barely see them if you're, far away. Another thing is this contour here, which I think is really interesting. So it's a little bit thinner there. You can see that. So,
are you digging that?
I just don't ever think about it because, yeah, I dig it. It's nice, but I don't even think about it. I'm not like, oh, thank goodness for that. I'm so used to playing Strats with the regular thickness under there that I just don't even think about it anymore. And sure, it's definitely a nice luxury for getting up there and doing some other things. Was it necessary? I don't really know. And the Whammy Bar, there's a little tiny set screw that goes in there, and to hold it in someone in place, something like that. And it fell out, and I've lost it. And then I managed to get another one that fitted, but I lost that too. So, but I don't even use my Whammy anymore. So it is what it is. I've considered blocking it off, but I think there's a certain amount of that movement when it's not blocked off that gives you like a lighter tension on the strings. It prevents you from doing country bands and stuff like. that higher note's always going to suffer a little bit in pitch because bringing it up makes the other ones go down in pitch. So that's a classic thing that floating bridges do and prevent you from doing a lot of country style stuff perfectly in tune. Pedal steel bends and such. Yeah. Cool guitar, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'd never owned a guitar with a roasted maple neck. I thought it looked really pretty. I just really like ebony boards. I think they have a particular sparkle and a spank, and just like a really, it's very similar to maple, but there's just a subtle warmth that they have over maple. It's almost a perfect happy medium between rosewood and maple.
Well, they look pretty cool.
It looks great too, and I think it's just a more rigid wood. I don't know if it's harder than maple, but I would bet it probably is. With the neck that's roasted maple, that probably makes it a little more rigid too. But it is a skinny neck, so I've found now that I've gone back and forth across the country a couple of times with it, that I do have to adjust it from province to province, from climate to climate, whatever you want to call it. So overall, I think it's a hell of a deal. It's a hell of a deal for what it is. And if you don't know who Nick Johnston is, for anybody else out there who might be watching this video, he's Canadian. He's from Toronto. He does very thematic style instrumental music. I think he has an album out now that's got some vocals on it, which I've never heard. But he's a very patient player, despite the fact that he's insanely capable of doing marvelous gymnastics on the instrument. He can shred, and then he'll do these little doses of flurries of like, whoa, this guy's got some tools. And he just uses them all really wisely. I do admire his playing. I think he's very tasty. And I think he has a good taste in instrument. And all the different choices that are coming out. He has a new one here that's got, I'm talking about the American versions of Schecters. I've played one of them. It was white and it had an all rosewood neck. I actually preferred this one over it, which is why I bought this one. But I wasn't actually shopping when I bought this. Wasn't looking for a Nick Johnston. I just happened to say, oh, there's the Nick Johnston Strat. Let's try it out. And I was like, holy crap, this is great. Super playable. Very, very playable. It's the jumbo frets. I think that's part of it.
You really like the pickups.
Pickups are killer. Get the pickups and put them in other instruments. Yeah, they are that good, in my opinion. I don't know how they're made, whether just, maybe cheaper components because it's on a more budget line. Or whatever. That to me doesn't so much matter. They sound freaking great. Perfect. That's all I need. I want it to sound good. And these have it. They definitely have it. You're able to access the 2 and 4. Position 2 and
Beauty guitar, eh?
it sure is, man.